Welcome everybody. Claire, where's your right hand, your left hand? Where's the beautiful silver?
He's my left, your right. He's not coming tonight. He's got some things to get on with, but he sends his love.
Great. Say hi.
So far.
Well, welcome Rosa, Wendy, Tony, Gio. Good to see you. Garrett, welcome to this open Zoom meeting. Let me blow it up so I see all the faces a little bit bigger. Yes, here we are again, obviously, as it seems. And I would say whatever seems to be happening will work itself out. Um, Even the idea or the belief or the feeling, well, Sander, you have it completely wrong. You're seeing it completely wrong. This is definitely not going to work itself out. It needs me. And even that, belief or that idea or whatever you want to call it, concept, will work itself out. It's gone before you know. It's just simply arising idea, sensation, feelings, and they dissolve on their own as they come. There's no continuity in any of those so-called beliefs or thoughts. To be one or the other. One may shift in another, like, well, Sander, you're wrong, this definitely needs me. May shift in, well, it doesn't need me, or it may shift into, well, it needs me and not even. Even that will go. It will all just simply go, innocently as it will arise. The only thing which will not go is you as a separated thing apart from this. And I don't mean the thought that there is a you. Even the thought that there is a you or the belief that there is a you or the lack of that belief will equally come and go. You cannot hold on to it. It arises and it will dissolve like anything else. So is this practical? No, it's not directly practical, Tony would say, and he will going to go on how it's not practical to say this, but then again, this is not meant to be practical. This is just simply what's coming up here. This is not saying that there are not things which can be done. On the so-called relative level, many things can be done. Um, changing beliefs, doing practices which maybe suits the, let's say, the body-mind system or the nervous system. A number of things may be done. And yes, suffering may stop. Well, it's a funny thing with suffering, even suffering, and I'm not talking about pain in your left toe or, in your right ear. I mean, suffering, the mental process, I mean, the story making about it's my heart or it's my feet. It's because I was stupid the other day and that's why I hurt my feet. I'm always a stupid guy. I never pay attention. That type of suffering will go. That so-called story-rising self-blame, self-hatred will not be there for 24 hours long. It will suddenly arise and then it will go away. So even the sense that you're an idiot or that you are a very good person or something in between will just simply vanish. It will not stay. Well, beautiful everybody to see you again. And yeah, let me start with Geo because as many of us know, Geo had a like how you call it, a procedure in to do something with the heart because there was something affecting. I don't know exactly, Gio, you may explain, but I was just wondering how you are doing today, Gio. Maybe you want to share. Feel
No, I'm okay. The name of the procedure is ablation. They burn spots in the heart that were irradiating random electrical pulses.
Ah,
And I will have to wait 3 months to have a definitive answer to the results of the procedure.
okay, okay.
But Sander, you were talking and you said something like the only thing that does not change. I did not understand what is it that does not change that you were referring to.
Well, I was not actually referring to something which is not changing. I said what is not coming and going is you as a separated being, because there is no you as a separated being. And I know, I know there are many saying, well, that is you. The unchanging is you. And, you know, there may be an idea or a belief that that is who you really are. You are the unchanging, you know, and yeah, if that is what is happening, great. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it is true. So there can be an identification with something. Let's say, so there's just this ever-changing dance of duality, right? And when this subsides, let's say deep sleep or whatever, when it draws into itself, and it's almost like if I talk about the thing, but it's not the thing. But when it just resides in itself, there's nothing. And there seems to be people claiming that you are that which is prior. So instead of being identified with the limited, with the body coming and going, with thoughts, with the mental state or whatever, there seems to be an identification with I'm that which is prior to the changing. So I'm the unchanging. And, I don't want to make any claims that to be the truth or not. What I said is that yes, there may be something which is not changing totally. I don't see it to be something separated from the changing, so to say, as it to be something else which is hidden or obscured or what you really are. And if you search long enough, you will find that that is the true you. And you know, the true you in the sense that there is a separated you who this is, right? I don't, in a personal way, there's no personal you who is that which is prior to change or prior to unchanged, whatever. But I hope I explained it well, Gio. What I wanted to ask, because it was now we're talking about what I would like to know, Gio. So yes, there was, obviously something with the heart going on, right? Um, w- d- was there recognizing that there were certain stories made, Was there suffering arising? And I don't want to make the claim that it's good or bad. This is not about good or bad, but was there a moment where there was a story arising, suddenly, maybe thoughts why this is happening to me, or I don't like it, or anything.
Yes, I, I, I am not able to specify what exactly the thoughts that came up, but all I can say that it would be very difficult for me to see it as something totally impersonal
Yes, okay,
because
fair enough.
the difference between the symptoms when you have the symptoms and when you don't have the symptoms is very big.
Yes, of
When
course.
I don't have any symptoms, I'm happy. I can do anything people want to do. I don't mind. But when I have the symptoms, there is a sudden change, and I just don't want to do anything. Nothing is right. I don't feel well.
Okay, yes.
And so, uh, yes, there is a certain, well, how,
Additional layer to it. Additional layer, I would
yeah,
say. Yes.
yes. And I would have a great difficulty to say that oh no, this is impersonal. Fuck it, doesn't matter.
No, it
It's
doesn't
very
matter.
difficult.
Yes, totally, Gio. Thanks for the sharing. And these types of things arising, faults or whatever, you know, right? They were spontaneously arising, and then at a certain moment they were gone, to not be found. There was
Yeah,
no, yes,
yes. It is completely immediate.
yeah,
It's a very funny thing.
and even the sense, because you said I cannot say it was not personal. Even that sense, if you talk about the feeling, I don't know if you talk about the feeling, you were not, you're not what expressing this direct, that it was a feeling of it was personal, or it was a thought maybe claiming it to be personal. But anyway, the feeling that it was personal, or the lack of that feeling, was equally arising, right, and dissolving. At a certain moment, it was nowhere to be found. And
Oh, yes, yes. But there seems to be a certain prejudice, like I want to choose the good side, you
of
know,
course, oh
and I
yeah, of
don't
course.
want the bad side of it. I prefer feeling when I don't have the symptoms, and I don't like when I have the symptoms.
Oh, but that's quite natural, Gio. But yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
mean, any of us. I mean, was there also? I'm also curious. Was there also in the moments, let's say, in the moment when there was not, what I would call a story about the heart and making it personal? Were there also certain moments when there was a certain type of peace, equanimity?
During
Yeah.
during the symptoms
Yes,
or after.
during the symptoms, or even small
Mm,
moments. It doesn't matter how, because what I'm curious is when you had these types of uh, you know um, problems. During the problems, was it always like there was this additional story the whole time, or were there also short moments where there was maybe the physical problem, let's put it like that, but there was a lack of story making? There was like an equanimity, or would you say no? I don't remember. I
no,
don't
I
know.
would say no.
Okay.
There was the the whole thing is suppressed by the sense of I don't want this.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yes. Well, yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
nothing wrong. I mean, this beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Gio. I mean, yeah, that's it.
and
Where is it
suddenly it's
now?
gone.
Where is it
You know,
now?
the heart is beating in a strange way, and you have a very awkward, bad feeling in your chest. It just doesn't feel right. And suddenly it's beating normal, and in a fraction of a second, everything is okay.
Yes, and
But not that I say why this is happening to Jill,
no.
why this is happening to me. No, there is no this kind of stories. I know you are asking if even during the symptoms there was if there was certain moments of uh, of uh, lack of discrimination, right? Of totality, of non-separation. I don't know how to answer this. I don't know. I really don't know.
Gio, may I ask you if during the symptoms, when it's hard, so to say, if there is a fear of dying?
Not exactly fear of dying, but the fear of having to land in the emergency room in a hospital again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very unset. It's very uncomfortable to wake up people in the middle of the night, picking up the cars and getting documents and all the bureaucratic stuff and feeling bad and having to run to the emergency.
Okay.
Well, that's
That
great.
I fear.
Yeah,
Totally.
that's
Totally.
great.
But Gio, thanks for sharing so openly. This is really, yeah.
Oh yeah, well, you see, no problem.
Yeah.
It
Cool.
happens.
Cool. Yeah.
In this it's totally impersonal, really.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Beautiful.
I'm answering the question. It is totally impersonal because I don't, right now, I don't have the symptoms. Everything is perfect. If I
Nice.
have the symptoms,
You know, when if we talk about this, right? Because in terms of a memory, this whole because it was happening a couple of weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer, Gio, I don't know, but it was. So, is there a sense that it had something to do with you? It was your memory, or does it feel like a distant dream now? You know, almost to the point that you're not sure if it actually happened. You know what
yeah,
I
it's more or less like that. Yes.
mean?
I'm not sure if it really happened,
Yeah.
but
And
yeah.
I was wondering, is there, because sometimes with these things, you see also that there is, you know, that there is a identity created around such events, where, and if
You
this
know what?
if this is happening, this is again not about judgment, but you see, I've spoken to a number of people who have, gained to something in their life, and then like a surgery or an accident, and then, you know, it's there's an identity created. It happened to me. It was me. This is who I am. This is my past. Do you see anything in that direction or not at all?
No, I don't see anything like that, but I am aware of what you are saying, and I can see the danger of that, you know. Every time you go through some very severe uh, pain or suffering or even fear, there is always the danger of this event leaving traces, right?
Yeah.
And no, traces very quickly disappear here, very quickly.
Yeah, and anything I would say, when it comes to this dance of duality, nothing has any continuity, even
Nothing.
suffering or depression or whatever is never 24 hours straight. Um, it's just simply
I'm
not.
not so sure about that, Sander, because you you
Well,
know
only let's say only in deep
if
sleep,
it is a
Geo.
physiological if it
Oh
is a
yeah,
physiological event, it can go on for
yeah, yeah. Of course.
decades.
Wh-
Why
When
not?
when
I
you're
mean,
when the body is like when you miss a food, it's not magically back. But I mean, when there's a mental story going on, like a
yeah.
like a suffering, how we define suffering something else than physical pain. I'm not talking about pain, but even so-called problems, my life, and
Oh yeah,
I have this. These things are never 24 hours on. In deep sleep, for
no,
example, there doesn't seem to be there, and I would say even during the day, um, even although maybe people who are depressed are not saying this, but even depression is not on 24 hours straight or 8 hours straight. There are moments when a bird is seen or when the phone is picking up, then suddenly this this so-called story of me and my depression just collapses in itself just to arise in 5 minutes or maybe an hour later. I mean, this is just dancing innocently and spontaneously. Suffering, thoughts, ideas, beliefs. Even I am is not, or I exist, or I feel that I exist, has no continuity whatsoever. It's arising, it's dissolving. In between these so called collapses, there's not even nothing happening, so to say.
SanderLinchen, can we conclude out of what you just said that it's not constant? There is always this break. I have no clue with depressions, to be honest. But what
Well, everything
can
is
we
coming and going.
can
That's
we
what I
say?
mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. Can we say that in a way this unbearable pain leads, so to say, someone to kill himself, to commit suicide, when there is really no break, when there is really just like,
Well, but there is never no break. There is never no break. You know, even depression, there's always a break. It may be short, it may be not seen, but depression is never 24 hours straight or 8 hours straight or 10
Okay,
hours
so like
straight. No.
committing suicide, for example, just jumping into a train, it's just like the moment where it's just like
Oh,
unbearable
well,
and
it's always the moment. It's always the moment, Rosa. It's never, you know, it may seem like an accumulation of
mm,
bad days for
mm,
somebody else, but the moment someone decided, to kill himself or herself, it's that moment where the action takes place. It's not, of course, when there's a story about it, one can say, well, she or he was already 20 years depressed, and that led to suicide. But at a
yeah,
certain point, there seems to be, as far as it seems, there seems to be a decision that now it's enough, or today is the day, or I don't want to continue, whatever. And then there's an action flowing out of that innocently, spontaneously. And I know this sounds, it's not that there's nothing to do about depression or suffering. I'm not saying that. There are many things to do. And there may be a sense that it's yours, but even the sense it's my depression is also arising and dissolving. This thought, it's mine. It's not. It's never 24 hours. It's coming and going like anything in this so-called dance of dualities. There's nothing which is not coming and going. At least as far as it seems. So when there's nothing playing, so to say, let's say when the mind is not active, or when consciousness is not flowing, or whatever you want to call it, when there's no sense of I amness, there's nothing. We cannot even speak of an experience or a happening or a you and something else, or
Yeah, but you can imagine someone who has pain 24 hours a day, let's suppose.
oh yes, yeah,
Pain,
yeah.
pain, 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 you
But
know.
most of those, even, I mean, there are extreme cases where people are, yes, but the case is that people are 24 hours in pain, because then probably they don't have medication or whatever, are very, very rare. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the gaps can be small. I agree with you, Gio. The gaps can be small, even with physical pain. There can be, of course, when there's no medication and stuff, but we're talking about suffering. Suffering is definitely never on the whole time, but it seems to be it seems to be woven together. These so-called moments, let's say moments of suffering, seems to be woven together, which create the sense it to have continuity, right?
Yes, there is the creation of a personality around that
Yes,
suffering.
which
Yeah,
creates a timeline, with
yes.
me and my suffering. It becomes almost solid. It crystallizes. This is who I am. This is me. This is my suffering.
This thing that was happening to me it had a very positive side. And this is what
Tell
you're
us.
talking about. Because suddenly I could realize that there is this immediate change from suffering to non-suffering. Immediate. I have never felt that before. It, you can even talk about it, but to experience it really, a sudden change. I'm not talking about the pain, because this feeling in the chest can be uh, interpreted as depression. Could be for some people, I think, because
Yeah, or anxiety. People with anxiety
yeah,
also express pain in the chest or
yeah.
breathing
But
difficulties.
because I worked as an acupuncturist for 10 years, I have a great facility to sense the pulse, because uh, the diagnostics for acupuncture is mainly through the pulses, right? So I never confused my symptoms with depression, because as soon as I got my pulses, I immediately felt the nature of the arrhythmia, right? And so, there never was the confusion between depression and this very bad feeling in the chest. But I understand that people who does not have this skill, I think they can very, very easily confuse these heart problems with depression.
And can you see that whatever you are explaining, that it was just simply arising,
Yes.
Checking the pulse, thoughts arising, this is not good, this is this, conclusion making, assumptions, the whole functioning, just functioning freely.
Yeah. Yes. Right now. Yeah. Right now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. It's just this right here now.
Yes. Wendy, sorry, Gio, you want to share something for the last, you want to
No,
add something?
it's okay.
I know Wendy, I think if we can talk to someone who has, I think there's both, I don't know if there's so much suffering there, it's hard to say, but I know there's at least physical problems for a long time, as I know.
Yeah.
Do you recognize a little bit, the nature of the suffering and when it becomes what is meant with suffering, and that
Yeah.
it's
And the clinging to it and then the not clinging. Like, it's like, it can be so intense and then all of a sudden it can just be just gone, And you can see that it's just like a story. But yeah, there's suffering for sure. And it pulls me right into the body. Like, I have heart issues too because of all my lung issues. It starts affecting, everything, including your brain. So yeah, there's a lot of suffering and clinging to it, and it makes me feel like it's mine. But at the same time, I can see that it's just not. It's just something that's happening, and that frees me. I don't have a depression over it, and I don't have any fear of dying at all. None, none at all. That's really all I can say about it. Today's a good day. I had my injection today, so yay.
well, thanks for sharing.
Welcome.
May I share a heart story?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the weekend, I visited my friend Margie. She had birthday, and I knew that the mother of her husband has this exactly like what Gio has, this issue with the heart. And of course, I'm not going into what exactly this is, but it's quite similar. And she had a surgery. And in a way, it's not better. And I met her now for the first time afterwards, and she is such a shiny woman, always smiling. It's so beautiful. And I was just like, Heidi, what's up, girl? And she was like, well, we will see, we will see. I'm waiting, like to know what's now, what, they're checking. And I said to her, sweetheart, what about not knowing? And she looked at me like, so in a way, her um like hope was now into what the doctors are going to say. What is now this and this? Innocently so. Yeah.
But how you mean with not knowing? I mean,
Because if you have still after a surgery or whatsoever still the issue with the heart and it's coming over and over again, even though it should not, due to the doctors, they of course will continue to seek for the problem, for the cause. And then you are like, okay, it's going to get better. They are going to check it. They are going to give me the right medicine or the right treatment. This is the hope to survive. And when I go and
No,
say,
I'm sorry, Rosa. No, sometimes it's just a technical issue. that you have to deal with. I mean, maybe you must choose the right remedy, or maybe you must choose the right procedure. There is nothing, it's not it's not a story that you can shed away. Why? I mean, it's a technical issue. Why not? Your friend, the person you are talking about, probably she has atrial fibrillation, right?
I actually don't know what it is, but it's also
Okay.
like with not rhythmic.
What are
And
you
there was,
claiming,
Atrial
Rosa?
fibrillation. Yeah.
but I simply had, I wasn't able to say, oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry for you,
No,
and
of course.
hopefully, I wasn't going into the story. I hope that, the
Yeah,
doctors
but
are
it
going to
doesn't
find
matter.
and blah. I simply had the impulse to say, sweetheart, what about simply not knowing what this is? It's what it is when the doctor is coming with a phone call and saying, hey, girl, let's change this and this. That's it, And but
Yeah, the
just to be free in the
expectation, right?
because I simply saw her like there is only the expectation, this is just the
Yeah,
hope of not dying, so to say, even
yeah,
though
yeah.
and it's not, I know, and this was innocently coming out. I did not, and I'm not into the story, but this is just what came up. I simply wanted to share this, like,
Yeah, no, I understand. Yes.
yeah,
If the main issue is expectation, I
yeah,
mean,
it exactly.
if you spend days and nights
The
on
whole time there is just
expectation,
the
yeah,
expectation because it was the
Yeah, but
only
that's
thing she
not
was
true.
saying
That's
to
not the
me.
whole time
Yeah,
expectation.
of
This
course
is
not. She was enjoying the birthday, of course.
no.
But
yeah,
I saw that when I asked her, just met her and say hi, it was directly coming with this. Oh, we will see what's going to come. We will see, There was just only the energy of expectation. And that's why maybe innocently, without changing more with her, directly booming out with, what? What about not knowing? So the
yeah.
expectation is collapsing. And this is, she was like, oh, we will see, we will see, we will see, So it's going to become
Yeah, I think both aspects go together. What you are talking about must go with it. There is the technical expectation, which is natural. I mean, if you
totally,
understand the issue, you
totally
choose the right remedy, the right procedure. But at the same time, the psychological expectation and hope
the hope.
must
It's the hope.
that
As long as you are
just
there, there is
yeah,
always hope. As
the
long
hope,
as you are
Yeah,
there,
but there's
the
no
hope
problem.
will
fear.
never
Yeah,
die.
The
Only when the body dies.
what the
yeah,
issue is here, it's the issue
No
it's
issue.
not no, but let me explain, Rosa. What's the problem is not the procedure. It's the sense that it has to do with you. And in a way, yes, if there's a identification with this physical body to be you as an absolute truth, it's all about you. There, or else it's just simply, and there's nothing wrong with it. When there's an identification, that physical form to be you in an absolute way, this is who I
yeah,
am, out of that, suffering will flow. It's this is okay. Also, separation will flow out of the sense that I'm this physical body sitting here amongst others. I'm separated from the world. I'm separated from life. I'm separated from the trees, from the birds, from ever. This is purely because of this is who I am. This is me. I'm going to die. I've been born. I have my life. It's given to me, blah, 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 blah. Out of that, you see it easily with, when there's an identification with people, when there's a strong identification with the body, when people are getting old, it's not just the body, getting older. They have a sense that they are disappearing. You know, they are disappearing. It's all about them and them alone because there's such a strong identification with this physical form to be you. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's the basis of suffering and the sense of separation. So,
yeah.
and this may change. I don't know where Tony is going. Maybe he would love to say something.
Just message Tony and
Yeah,
see if he replies.
so and I'm not, I mean, there can also be there can also be, so out of, I would say, out of the sense or the belief I am this body, suffering will flow. Um, but we can turn it around. If that sense is not there, if there is a belief, well, I'm prior to this body, I'm the observer. I'm not this. I am the observer. This this will create the peace, a distance. But the peace flowing out, the identification or the belief that there is you somewhere else, somewhere apart from this, and that peace flowing out of that is as unstable and coming and going as the suffering.
Yeah.
Yes, this I have experienced often enough. And but let me say how you started, sweetheart. When you started with this, what is this? Is this Advaita Vedanta, like claiming that prior to what you claim to be yourself, there is your true self? You know what I mean? This like
Mhm.
thing.
I'm not
So
saying
you
there's
are
a
the
true self
totality.
there.
Yeah, no. But there is like what you said. I noticed with Karl Renz. I love listening to Karl Renz, and he is always saying, uh, be what you not what you cannot escape to be. So be what you already are. And he is always talking in a way to you, but actually he says, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this, which is unknown actually.
Yeah, but
But
that's
nevertheless, he is
for me,
speaking
it's a
to
load
you.
of
And
bullshit.
I'm not, yeah, and I don't resonate with this at all. Nevertheless, I hear something or whatever this is, which is completely matching. But I cannot go and say, yeah, me like the totality of what is. It's not like I don't. It was exactly what you said in the beginning, isn't it? Or what
Well,
is it? A
look,
tradition or Ramana
I'm not
tradition?
talking about traditions, but as far as it seems here, as and I told this before. So suddenly this started playing. You can go. Let's go back. Let's say you go back to a first memory. Suddenly there was something. It doesn't matter which memory you have, or anyone claim that it was when he was 5 years, 3 years, 6 years, or 11 years, or yesterday. So prior to that, prior to the moment this just simply started playing, I would say there was nothing going on. Not even nothing. We cannot even talk about it because there was just simply nothing. And not nothing as a thing or no thing. So suddenly mind started creating, or whatever you want to call it, consciousness started flowing, or whatever. So suddenly it will also end. So what I suggest is that there are many moments, many so-called moments during the day where actually nothing is happening. Let me put it this way. There's driving a car, you go to work, and then suddenly you find yourself at your working place, and god damn, how in the hell did I came here? So there seems to be these gaps where there's no actual experience, where there's just, there's no experience, there's no timeline, there's nothing.
Like the deep sleep at night.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in a way, we can say it like that, but
But you don't have to talk about interruptions and in between
no,
this
we don't
stuff.
have to talk about it.
It is going on together, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
deep
It's
sleep
not
it's
something
here,
else. Yeah,
right
Yeah.
yeah,
here,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, yeah. Of course, deep sleep. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is not about this and that as something different. You
Yeah.
know, I would say, when let's say when mind is create, the dance of duality is just, or there seems to be a loop of consciousness creating a you, a world where you can gain something. When this is not playing, you can call it deep sleep, or
Yeah, yeah. This aspect that you are referring to has a beginning and has an end. It
oh
is
yeah.
the story making, right? I
Mm.
mean, the story
But
making has a
that has
beginning.
no end and no beginning. We can say
Well,
not that has any. Yeah, okay. The story making has a beginning and an end. What there seems to be a claim that is, some say, well, this is dissolving and arising into nothing, like it started, it's the so-called, some people say this, I'm not saying that it's wrong or right. I have no judgment about it, but
No, but why don't you refer to deep sleep very simply? I mean, you go to sleep and the
yeah,
story
but I
making
refer to it.
disappears.
I refer to it. Yes,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, that's what
And
I mean.
I mentioned this many times, when there's deep sleep, there's no, like, okay, in 10 minutes I'm going to wake up and then my day is going to start and I'm going to, no, suddenly there's waking, eyes opening, body processing things happening and all that. And there may be a sense that it's happening for you or that you are the one wakening or whatever's going on. I just want to point out that suddenly, it always is suddenly, innocently, like the beginning. Out of nothing, we can say out of nothing when birth, out of nothing, deep sleep,
Yeah,
suddenly this started
yeah,
playing and suddenly this will stop. Boom.
yeah.
And there's no experience of this sudden start or the sudden end. It's
No,
just, that's the only thing I want to point out. It's just, from how I see it, everything is just innocently arising. Even the idea, the sense, the claim, the belief, or the lack of that claim that it is or isn't, is arising. And before
yeah,
it's gone. It's gone. It's nowhere to be found. The sense I'm here, the sense I exist is as that. The sense you are is as that, has no continuity. Suddenly it is, suddenly it isn't. And there's no use separated from this sudden dance of coming and going to hold on these things, hold on to fear, hold on suffering, because there's already no you behind it bringing it about. It just arises and it dissolves. Some things, so-called moments, seems to linger longer. In the end, they go as they come. This is working itself out beautifully, always. That's the beauty. Even the idea, well, you're an idiot, it's not working beautiful out. In 5 minutes, I'm going to ask you, where is that now? It's gone. You're an idiot, it's gone. Please show me, where is it? Or I like it.
Yeah,
I
it's a
like it. Or you're
beautiful,
an idiot.
sharing, SanderLinchen. Yeah, and it's so obvious, like it's totally obvious. And Gareth, what about you, sweetheart? Is there something coming up? Mute yourself.
Let me ask Tony, what the hell
No,
is he
nothing
doing?
to say really. No,
No,
no, nothing coming up.
like with those breaks of the story, like in deep sleep. Or are you always there, Gareth? Also in deep, deep sleep?
Well, maybe not there then, but as soon as I wake up, I am there.
How does it feel when you wake up? Good morning. Oh, shoot.
No, only a 4 out of 10 then, but maybe in the middle of the night, it could be a 10 out of 10, but just another day in the morning, when I wake up.
Just another day.
Yeah.
Is there a joy or a neutral or a sadness or it's different always?
Um, Pretty similar, I think. Quite similar.
But when you have birthday, it's different, right? You get up and hooray, it's my birthday.
No, no, not really. No. Uh,
Okay. Pretty similar.
yeah, I think as I get older, there's less ahead and a lot more behind me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cool.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
beautiful, Garrett, because you mentioned this. It seems to be that, when getting older, there seems to be innocently the sense that my time, is running out. What you said is quite interesting, actually. You said there's no so much time ahead anymore. So
Yeah.
Out of that, you know, the identity is more fixed in the past experience
Yeah.
because there's not much to live for, and my time is running out, innocently so, because yeah, I'm this body and it's going out, and you know, but at least I had this and this in past times. This is who I am. I've been through all these types of things. So one almost starts to live, and it's not possible to live um, in the past. You know, no one is living in the past or in the future or in the present moment because it's just simply not working. It's impossible to live somewhere else, including in the moment. But anyway, there seems to be that, you know, past events becomes important. This is who
I
I
think
am.
one can snap out of time immediately.
Oh yes, but because one is already not. I mean, yes, you can say one can snap out of time, but out of time there is no you. I would say you
No,
only exist in a certain, when there's a timeline, then is when you are existing. When
Yeah.
there's no timeline, there's no
yes.
Yeah.
existence of.
Yeah.
When there is the snapping out of time, something else, it's unexplainable. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I would say you only exist you as an idea or as a sensation or a belief or
in
whatever,
time.
only exist in
In
time.
time. But Gio,
Outside,
how to
there's
snap
no you.
out? How to snap? Is it a trick or what is it? How to snap out of time?
That's a good question, isn't it?
There's no.
There is this there is this trap, the tendency to find some procedure,
Technique. Technique
the
like
technique.
like Eckhart
Yeah,
Tolle is teaching you how
yeah.
to, yeah. This
Well, there's no
timeless
I
something
don't.
moment,
else
this
where you can
timeless,
go
yeah.
to. So it's not that you.
But I was curious about what Gio is going to say.
Yeah, it's no. I don't think it is. It has a cause. It's not a consequence of causes. It suddenly happens, but you can sort of invite it. For instance, these meetings that we are having, this is an invitation for the timeless. Instead of being in a meeting about cake recipes, where we are in a meeting of a different character. And this different character of this meeting is a prompting to something that may be out of time.
It's as if this is a satsang.
Yeah, it's called, yes, yes, yes. It is called satsang,
I
yeah.
don't want to call it a meeting in truth. I don't want to
Me
claim.
too. I don't feel,
No,
I just love to see you as friends and I'm totally happy and
I,
joyful.
I did
For me,
not
it's not
mean
as a,
that.
yeah, yeah, I know what you
I
mean.
know, Gio. I know,
No,
Gio. And when I say you only exist in time, it's not that there is a you separated existing in time, able to jump out of time and go somewhere else as something which is
no.
separated. I
Mhm.
would almost say that the you think you are is only time.
Yeah.
It's nothing else. When there's no time, there's no you. It's not that you exist in time.
I can put it in another way still. There is only the timeless, and suddenly thoughts about time jump in, pretending that they are me, and suddenly they may disappear.
So can we say that it's just another idea, the concept of me, the concept of time? When the
Yeah,
concept of time arises, there is this me and my story. Without
exactly.
the time, there is no story. Without
Yeah,
past and future, I cannot have a story. It's
Well, there's no
impossible.
time without a story, definitely. When there's no story going on, there's definitely no such thing as time. So,
yeah,
so time, you know,
It's practical.
when this is not playing, there's no experience. So when I say, you know, when there's
Yeah.
driving a car and then suddenly you are at work and there's a wondering what have happened, there's a certain loss of time. There was no, it's not that time was lost, but there was no time.
yeah,
Then suddenly time start playing again, you know, in the reflective thinking where I was. That's the moment when time comes into the equation in a certain way again. Then it's, Time is only when the story is. When there's no story, there's no time, no
But the
thing.
same with space. Like here, going
Yeah.
home with the car to the office. There
Oh,
is
there's no
no home
space
and
either.
office.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same.
yeah, yeah, exactly. There's nothing. I would not even say there's not, there's, I mean, nothing can still be objectified as something. So in
Yeah.
that so-called, and then suddenly, boom, but it's just playing freely, innocently. There, it's nothing to do about it. I mean, even the trying to do, the only place where there's something can be done is in this dance of duality. Besides there, nothing is to be reached, nothing can
And
be
the
done.
and the funny thing, you see something, the funny thing is that even if the story is going on in duality, there may be this sense of timeless.
Oh yes,
And that
Yeah,
gives
yeah.
a
Yeah, let
different
me
taste.
let me share a
Yeah.
story when I felt the sense of this timeless moment. A car hit me. I was with a bike, and a car hit me. And in this moment, this was the timeless moment I had. I was just flying over the car. There was just nothing. There was no time at all. It was just like frozen. And I was just flying and landing and it survived in a way. I don't know how this happened. The doctor also said, "Oh my gosh, this is impossible, actually." So this was an experienced, timeless moment. Really, there was no time at all.
Well, there
I
is no
cannot describe
experience
it.
of no time.
I know, but this was experience. I can report it now.
Yeah,
I
but
Yeah.
that's
would really
only
like
after.
say it. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was so wow. This was crazy.
Same with deep sleep. No one reports deep sleep. No one is able. I talked about this also with Klaus. So when there's deep sleep, there's nothing. What people are reporting as the being in good sleep is the freshness when this started playing. There's a certain freshness. Out of that freshness, they claim that they had a good sleep. But
A
during deep
story.
sleep, there's no such thing as an experience of good sleep.
No.
There's no experience of itself or something else, no darkness, no peaceness. There's no, in deep sleep, when this is not playing, there's no freedom, nor you, or peace, or bliss. I would say peace and happiness and suffering are only dimensions of the mind.
Yeah.
Beyond that,
Yeah.
there is no such thing as peace, bliss, happiness, and all those things. Prior to this, there's no you in the darkness. There was no you waiting in bliss for this to happen.
But here, that's why there are also those so-called teachings and tricks with reprogramming. Like what you think this is bad, you can reprogram this to good. Whatever
Neuralistic
this is,
programming.
isn't it? I have heard of this. I've never dealt with this, but this is in a way also like, okay.
Well, what I see a lot. I mean, and I talked about this before, and it comes up because I see David now a little here also, and I think he was in it also last week. Is that so? What you see a lot is what I call changing belief systems or falling from one side of the coin
Yeah.
to the other. So when there's a large amounts of suffering and everything is felt to be real, then suddenly one is presented with the concept that it's all just a dream. So when this so-called everything is real is shifted into the new concept, everything is a dream, and there's a certain distance, then out of that so-called adapting belief, there will be a peace, there will be a lessening of the suffering. But that so-called peace is based on the innocent shifting of the belief that it's all a dream or that is nothing is happening. I would say it's just another side of the coin. But that so-called peace is very unstable. It will go because
But
you
for
need
a
to
little
hold on.
relief, but for a little relief, it's nice. You
It's
know,
nothing. There's nothing wrong with it.
it gives you a little bit help and then it's gone, of course. Then maybe the landing is even harder.
Well, the funny thing is,
Yeah, they say that it can help. It's like a step that it may help you to see something else. I don't know.
yeah, but yes,
Also
Maybe.
with psychedelics, using
Yeah.
psychedelics helps you to see different perspectives and then, oh, I know this is not only this here what I thought it is. It's just much different. And this is also
Yeah.
another, so to say,
Well,
trap.
if you can abstract from all phenomena, it can be useful to invite the mind to see
Open.
something
yeah,
different.
Open
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Tony, maybe we talked about it's a pity that he's not here, but inquiry. I mean, it sparks inquiry, whatever, going into whatever. I mean, I don't say there's nothing, so the thought shift, so to say, from this is real or everything is happening to nothing happening is just another side of the coin. I would say nothing is happening and everything is happening at the same time. Where there seems to be, when there seems to be a falling to one side of the coin, yes, this may will have relief. This may feel good, but it's only as long as the thought and the belief is going. Soon it will crumble, and then there will, there seems to be a need, a seeking for stability in something which is passing event, which is coming and going. There's nowhere to land in a certain way. Any landing will have its so-called effects for as long as it takes, and then the ground is gone again until there's a new so-called landing.
Yeah,
With
that some call this as view, right? I think Buddhists call it view. As long as you have a view, it will crumble.
Yeah, it will crumble, and it will crumble. And I would say, and the next thing what would be said is prior to this one or the other, you cannot talk about it, but there's no bliss, there's no nothing. When this is silent, so to say, when there is not one or the other, or both and neither, there's nothing. One can say that the real equanimity, I mean, what is real and unreal? Here we go again, because there's no way to escape this one or the other, this falling into one side or another side. I mean, there's no way to escape the duality because there's simply no you apart from it able to escape it. But there seems to be a way to see through. Although this may sound as a seeing through that which you are doing, but that's not. It's like I would say that mind is in itself.
Sweetheart, what do you mean? It seems there to be a way to see through. What do you mean with this?
Well, like I said.
To see through what?
Phenomena.
The duality?
Appearances.
Yes.
Appearances.
The illusion? The dream?
Yes.
So there is, so it seems as if you can see or whatever can see through this illusion.
It seems so, yes.
Yes.
And no one can do this.
There's no way to escape it because there's no way to escape it, but there seems to be, I don't know, because it becomes funny when you talk about it. You only can use non-dual terms. It seems like someone has got it, but when mind is like, it's like it's seeing to its own tricks in a way. Because it's seeing through its own tricks. I would say there's not a thing like a mind which is functioning apart from you. Although when I start talking like that, it seems like the mind is a mechanism somewhere and you are apart from it and this is functioning. It's like the mind is seeing through its own states, to its own bullshit, to its own tricks. So there seems to be a functioning, for example, when there's a lot of suffering, bypassing, for example, I've talked with Claire about bypassing, shifting beliefs just to get rid of the suffering. That's just simply what seems to be happening. Well, it's just a new trick.
It's just a functioning. It's not even a trick. It's just a functioning. Innocent trying to help the system.
It will bring no stability at all. In the end, all those tricks, I think Ramana was saying, you need a thorn to remove the thorn and then to throw it away.
Can I quote Nisargadatta?
Yeah, it quotes. Yeah, of course.
He says, once you recognize the dream, there is nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Not that there is someone who will recognize it, but once the dream is seen as a dream, it's finished.
The show is over.
But
It's
But
Okay,
playing
so
but
on,
if
it's playing on, the
so
show
in a
is
way,
over.
this is exactly what the seeker for truth is looking for. Just that they or whoever or no one is seeing through the illusion, right?
yeah,
That's the whole hype.
but then they project someone who is seeing through, you
No,
know,
they are completely knowing the concept of me, know me. They are totally updated. They know all the
the
concepts.
concept, the
They
concept.
know it all. They know it's a
Yeah,
concept. They know there is no one to drop away. They know it's bullshit. And nevertheless, there is always like there is just this innocent need to continue to look, to look, to look, like exactly what you said. There can be this just seeing through the illusion. And this is the hope
yeah,
then, innocently so. You cannot stop it, whether it's there
yeah.
or it's not. And this simply can't stop.
Interesting. Yeah,
But
Hmm.
I agree with what Nisargadatta was saying in that way, you know. And I mean,
yes. You don't have to call it dream to see through the dream.
no, but
Eh,
there seems to be conceptual reality.
Whatever it is. Yeah,
So I mean, when one is saying you are not what you think you are, that's quite obvious because what you think you are is just it's just a new trick. Either there's a thought that you are something, either there's a thought you are nothing.
There are so many coaches out
But
there who are promising
both.
you to be, they can coach you to teach you how you can see through this. Of course, not you, you as consciousness, you as I don't know what. There are so many, and a lot of people are going there, and they are like, oh, they love it. Take all those Rupert Spira's and I don't know, Lucille's and Eckhart
yeah,
Tolle's. It's amazing. It's a great, great business. Amazing. Perfection, of course. I can only see the perfection. Felix.
Hello.
Well, there's nothing, you know. I mean, like I said, everything is coming and going. So the idea that they are either good or bad, where is it? You know,
yeah,
it's not, you know, the problem is not judgments or opinions about if Rupert Spira is good or
yeah.
not.
No, no, I just mentioned this.
It's the sense of self in everything. It's my judgments, it's
Yeah,
my thoughts.
because these people who go to Rupert Spira meetings or whatever meetings, if Rupert Spira was not there, they would go elsewhere.
Yeah,
They would
totally.
be looking, they would be looking for something anyway.
Totally. Totally.
So
The,
As I
the,
said, I can only see the nothing wrong or right with this. It's just how the cookie crumbles.
yeah,
And
I was
I myself was totally resonating with this. Totally. Until I wasn't. It's just so simple how
yeah,
everything
me
come and
too.
go.
I spent many years believing in awareness as something separate from
Totally.
what's happening.
Totally, Jill.
Yeah.
Same here. Same here.
And even now,
I
if
would
you
say
ask me, is that so? I stop and I, I get lost because is it? Is it not? Is there a changing? Is it unchanging? You know, sometimes it takes a few clicks to crumble the cookie correctly.
yeah, but that's the
Correctly.
funny thing. This what you are describing,
Correctly.
is it not? It's just playing, that whole thing is just playing on its own. Is it not? Then there's a certain, which people call an inner dialogue. It's just playing freely. You know, so the
Yeah.
question, is it? Then there's a certain answer, yes or no. Then there's a going, you know, and this is, and then suddenly gone.
Yeah,
It
by the
arises
way,
and then gone.
it was so cool the timing when I met Xander almost 2 years ago. I was exactly like on this point where all those things completely collapsed, so to say. Nevertheless, and then Xander came with this beautiful not this, neither, so nowhere to land. And I totally resonated with this. Totally. I just love this. And this was in a way for me really like a relief, a big relief. You can say another landing spot, but no, it wasn't. It was like I was always there where I was, exactly with what it was. And there was no issue with this. And it was very cool to see this, to hear this, because no one, like I mentioned, was expressing this like Xander does. I still haven't found a second one who is doing this like him. There are a lot of Tony Parsons guys, like with the same expression, this every second word is apparently. And of course, it's also beautiful. I also love it, so to say. But in a way, I most resonate with the stuff Zander is sharing, the way he shares it. It's quite
until
empty.
you don't until you don't resonate with anyone or everyone.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Sweetheart, let me ask Claire. You want to, you have listened, you want to share something as we know you're psychologist. How is this playing out in your work field? What we have talked about, suffering. We started with geo and the heart problems and trauma and all those. Where I say it's it's because of the sense of separation. It's because of the the sense that it's all around you. You are the body. You're separated. What is your viewpoint? When it comes to people in your clinic.
Sander. Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right, and I think everybody here agrees that suffering, at the root of suffering is the sense of separation. When 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 that is not felt, maybe, um, there is a sense of or it feels like peace, I suppose. There's people can be in difficult situations, like Gio was saying with the hospital. You don't want to be in a dirty, overcrowded hospital having to fill in paperwork. But if there's a sense of acceptance and that it's not me it's happening to necessarily, there's not a sort of personal ownership, and anything that can kind of rattle that sense of who you are. When you're identified with the body and you're identified with your mind, then there can be the suffering. But when there's not that identification, the suffering's not there, because there's not the individual separate self, and that's the part that sort of I think is quite fearful. There's a sort of sense that it's going to die, that it's going to end somehow, and that to me is psychological suffering. The idea that there is something that will die. And I know Sandra and I were talking about death the other day, as we do. And Yalom is a sort of psychotherapist who came up with the idea that existential psychotherapy is the idea that all neuroses are essentially a fear of death. So anyone who's in your therapy room is afraid of dying, and you can sort of break it down into anything that they're bringing to you. If you really break it down, it's about a fear of death. And I would say that what he and the others are saying is that it's the fear of dissolution of the separate self. So to me, the non-duality in therapy are not two separate things at all. People kind of say, oh, they don't merge. Of course they do. Jung and Freud and Rogers and Yalom and all of these people, they're saying exactly what we're saying right now, except they're saying it in maybe more conceptual ways, and it can get a bit convoluted sometimes. And people can, as you were saying, Rosa, hang on to those ideas. It's like there's another concept. Oh, it was about my childhood. Oh, that's another concept. Oh, I need to cut off toxic people. That's another concept. You can have all these ideas that therapy can establish, but I would just say that they're just more layers of mind. They're more ideas of trying to fix and trying to change something. And essentially nothing needs to be fixed or changed. So I'm sort of a frequency holder of sorts. That's not really, there's not anything that's kind of forced or made to happen or made different. But then change happens and things are different and you see progress. So yeah, it's a very paradoxical profession, but so is non-duality. So I don't really see them being separate. And yeah, I just turn up because I like listening to the chats, and it's quite nice to be with friends and like-minded people. But I don't really think I've got anything to offer or share or anything like that. But happy to speak anyway.
Well, thank you, Claire. Yes, I
And
mean,
I think that lucky are the people who are patients to Claire, because I think it is very rare to find a psychotherapist that has this kind of insight that Claire was describing. It is very rare, very rare.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not classical. It's not classical where it's about your trauma. You have to repeat and you have to live through
Yeah.
your trauma. It's who you are, and it gets sometimes it seems for me that classical psychology is more like instead of
Yeah.
loosening the problem, it's almost like it's amplifying it. It's almost
No,
making it more, personal than what it
yeah,
is.
exactly. Like the therapy, the classical therapy as I know it, is just to see you as the person you are and to make you stronger, just to strengthen your personality, because you're
Yeah.
in a way
But
floating. And they in a way try to fix your personality so that you are more confident and able to deal with this so-called life, me and my life. And that's why like the spiritual coach I was resonating with, which the therapy I chose, so to say, was exactly like he said, here the game changer was he went to therapy because he was suicidal for 20 years, I don't know. And then he simply went to the therapy, and the therapist said to him, a woman, you know what? We are now going to strengthen your personality. And then it clicked. Oh no, sorry, I go. And then he was completely with the know me, know me, know me. And this is actually what he is doing. He is, like you said, the frequency holder. He is in a way now, a lot of people resonate with this. He helped a lot. Just another landing spot, of course. Like he is in a way just saying it's what it is. Well, the pain is it already. No escape.
yeah,
But he is giving you like a cookie saying you as consciousness. You as consciousness, and this is the thing I don't like. But for me, it was obvious that it's not about whatever. It's just about facing the facts, if you can, and be able to be with this, whether you can or not.
I think Rosie, you were also just to make a point there as well. Actually, sometimes therapy is more important and more helpful than sort of non-duality, quote unquote. I think there sometimes needs to come a point where the personality is developed and is built.
Absolutely. He was like, sometimes he's directly going with you first go to therapy and then come back. Because you first has to strengthen the ego and then come and then we crush it,
Yeah.
And I was cracking up, of course. It's just who is deciding first to go there and then there, like choosing
yeah,
the
but no
the
one is
yeah.
deciding, sweetheart. It's, this is
But
the
it's
funny
fun.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, no one, like I say, there's no one behind any thought or belief or opinion or even, you know, saying who is deciding was just simply innocently arising. Where is it now? Where's who is deciding now? It's gone. It's already the next thing. It's just vanished. It arises on its own. These questions and conclusions, and I'm not. I have no clue about therapy. I guess that sometimes there seems to be a need to strengthen this personal hook.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, this is even when there's no such thing as a separated person. I would say there is and there isn't. So on the relative level, then yes, there's a body. We can see that. But that to be you in an absolute way, I don't think it's like that. But that's just, at the same time, there's a body, there's at least people seeing you as the doer. So when there's a sense of I am this body, of course there's going to be a sense of I'm separated, I do this, I do that, because it's all based on the innocent, belief or sensation that that is who you are in an absolute way. And
Yeah,
in
and
one way it
sometimes
is maybe
people
like that, and one way it's maybe not like that. That's the beauty.
sometimes some characters appear like I am a piece of shit. I am a piece of shit. I'm not good for anything. I am shit. Then this personality must be somehow shaken up from this
Which is
pit.
also very arrogant, right? Poor me, the
Also, yeah,
total victim.
yeah,
It's so arrogant. It's the same like claiming I'm
yeah.
the best, like a complete narcissist, whatever this is. I'm also not
Yes,
into
of
this.
course, of
But I
course.
saw all the characters so playing there, poor me.
Yeah, but
Oh,
when there is only one character playing too much the same character, sometimes it's good to open other possibilities.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
am not I am not a
Unbelievable.
piece of shit today. I was yesterday,
Yeah,
but not today.
but Leo,
It
I
can,
want to point out that that I'm a piece of shit. That thought or that belief or whatever, that sensation even has no continuity whatsoever.
no, of course.
It's
Not
arising and
even
dissolving.
not
Yeah.
yeah. And even the thing that he thinks that is a piece of shit is not there. I
Exactly.
mean, it's just a movement of
It's there
thought.
and it's there and it's not there. So it's you
Yeah.
know, I mean,
It's there as a concept,
yeah,
but
it's
not as
there.
an entity.
Yeah, it's there as a belief, it's there as a thought, as an
Yeah.
idea, as a story. It doesn't saying it's not there is just for me the other side of the coin, where, from everything is here to nothing is here. That's the other side of the spectrum. That's the new layer of the mind, or just the new trick, where we fall into these absolute statements when, okay, everything is happening. You hear people say, well, nothing is happening. If you ask them, because if you ask, okay, so nothing is happening, are you going to say to your child who's choking in a piece of bread, are you going to say that nothing is happening? No, that's just bullshit. At that moment, it seems that something is happening. At the same time, yes, nothing is happening. So, what I see a lot is that people fall either on one side or the coin. So, one side can create a lot of suffering, the other can cause peace, but both are unstable.
So
Well,
is
if you
this
apply
about,
it,
David?
David,
hello, if it's applied as a concept, right, then it becomes it's impractical. It's unapplicable to anything. It's not a philosophy to adopt to improve my life. You know, it's like you can going to the gym can happen and you can strengthen a bicep, but no one owns a bicep. And there might be a personality structure that could be strengthened or weakened or changed with therapy, but there's no one owning a personality,
there's no one
right?
separated from him. Yes, there's no one separated from the body owning the body. Yes, in that way, I
Yeah.
would agree. But when there is a sense of, this is my bicep, this is my body. So, this, I've seen this sense in many times. People claim this is me. So then it's also, this is my bicep, where you say, yes, I totally agree with you, David. There's no one separated owning the body. There's no one in it or beyond it for who this body is as something which you really are apart from this. There's no separated being whatsoever from whatever seems to be happening, which includes, you know, the idea that there's also no one owning a bicep, or the opposite. No one is owning both or neither of the claims.
Yeah. There's not someone who doesn't own a body.
Yes.
Exactly.
So,
I
yeah,
was thinking the other day, there's like looking at an apple and it's, red. There's this red apple and it's like nothing's doing the redness. We don't assume that there's an apple inside there that owns redness.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
just redness. But when it comes to the mind and thoughts and feelings and sensations, it's like, oh, I'm doing all that. But all that could just be seen as like the redness of the apple. It's the
Yes.
same. It's just that's just happening. It's just appling. It's just redding. There's just thoughting. There's just
Minding. Yeah, minding.
minding. But
Exactly.
nothing behind it that's doing that. The self
Exactly.
that's experiencing that is the minding.
Yes. Totally, nothing else. Yeah, nothing apart from this, no separated you doing the mining. It's just mining on its own. There's no tree in a tree treeing. It's just, and it's ordinary, it's,
Totally.
at the same time, the idea that, well, David, son, you're completely wrong. I think I'm minding. That is already just minding. I mean, there's no way to escape such a thing, even the sense that it is you, or there's no one, or the claim that there's no one, is already not owned. At the same time, it can seem to be owned. We have to come to terms that somebody seeing you would say, well, that's David, that's him, because this is me. I'm this physical body. I'm separated. So when there's a sense of this is me, there's also, out of that rises also the sense of otherness. When there's no sense of me to be this, where are others? Others arise only in the sense of separation. This is me, there's others. And although that may be true in this so-called dance of duality or language or semantics, it's in an absolute way not true. It's both true and not true. It's true as it seems when there's something playing, this is me, this is you. But apart from that, it's not happening. Yes, totally. What a beauty.
What a beauty.
Yeah, I was thinking about, I talked with Claire about that. It's funny. It seems that, no one had ever had an experience of being born. I mean, suddenly, like I said in the beginning of this talk, suddenly we can call it the first memory, or whatever. You can say it was with 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. Suddenly, this started playing. You know, birth is only because someone told you. In this case, your so-called parents have told you that's you. You are born, but there was no such thing as an experience of birth whatsoever. Before this started playing, this so-called body, which seems to be you, was already peeing and doing all types of things, eating, crying, but there was no sense, additional layer, that's me. It was already simply naked functioning.
Hmm.
There was no me whatsoever.
It's
So
like me's like an echo of a
yeah,
sound. It's
yeah,
like there's just the minding, and an echo of that is this sense of self or separation or me. And it really does seem like an echo is separate from the sound that produces it, but in actuality, it's the same thing. It's like the
yeah.
mind, the self, or the sense of a self. It's like this. It's just an echo of what's already happening.
Yeah, and I think
Nothing truly separate.
it's perfect already, like this game, the sense of having a me, like how it develops, so to say, and it's perfection.
Well, yeah, I agree with you on a certain level, Rose. But when there's intense suffering, yes, it's perfect in the sense because it is what it is. It's
This game, this
unavoidable.
game, this game, it implies everything. It's everything. It's joy and suffering. You cannot miss. To have the one, you need the other. That's the game of duality. That's why I love it. I just love it. And but yeah, and here it's not for me. It's never about suffering or not suffering. It's actually
No,
about nothing.
but that doesn't matter how here there's no suffering, I would say, but that's not the point. So when there is suffering, there's suffering, and yes, I understand when you say it's perfection or it is what it is. Yes, it's the suffering is what it is. There's no way around it. How can it not be
Yeah,
perfect?
there is
It's
nothing wrong with
already
this.
everything what it is. How can this be
Yeah,
wrong? It's already whatever it is. It's unavoidable. There's no you
yeah,
to go away from it. So in that sense,
yeah,
but on
There's
another
nothing
level,
there's nothing outside of it to know it is perfect either, though, right? Like Tony
no,
Parsons would say,
yeah,
call it perfection or call it carrot cake, but
yeah,
just calling it
yeah.
perfection makes it seem like there's somebody who knows that it's all okay.
there's
Yeah,
no
but
door in
yeah, and
it.
I don't mean it's okay when I say perfect, but it doesn't matter. I prefer to use this word, and there is
I know what you mean.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
there's no door. There's here no edges. There are no borders. There's no door coming in and out and leaving this and putting this aside. There's no separated you to put this aside or to go through a door and suddenly you're apart from this, able to, you step into the nothingness and then you go to the door and you to the in. It's not working like that. There's no such possibility.
No location, no time, no determination, nothing.
Exactly. And at the same time, all locations.
Are already it. Yeah. Because even time is timeless and location is spaceless.
Oh yeah, time itself
And
knows no time.
every determination is indeterminate. Every
Yes,
knowledge is already unknowable.
totally. Yeah, I mean, I talked about this. So there's a possibility to know that $5 is not $10. But that in
Yeah.
its totality is totally unknowable. Where in a certain level, everyone knows that five is not 10. But that in its whole is just simply unknown. It's known and at the same time it's completely unknown. There's no you able to separate yourself from whatever seems to be happening, holding life in your hands and looking at it, measuring it, whatever. It's just simply not going to happen.
Yes, and the way people walk around in the streets is that they forget about this other side, the unknown. People walk around believing that everything is knowable, and that's the
There,
hell
there
for
are a
them.
lot, there are a lot who have never thought about the idea that it can be different.
Until
Yeah,
someone come along like a radical nonetheless and saying nothing can be known, which is just a
yeah,
new knowing that nothing can be known. We can play this
yeah.
game
But it
endlessly.
may trigger something,
Yeah,
Sander.
yeah, I
It may,
agree.
the
Yeah.
person may stop and say,
Yeah.
what did he say? I mean, is it so really?
Yeah, yeah, I
It can
understand.
trigger.
That's
I think that's interesting. That saying that nothing can be known. I think what's what I think has been meant by that historically is more that it's an implication. Like you said, what does that lead the thought process to consider
yeah,
next? If nothing can be known, because the first assumption is, well, I know that 5 isn't 10. So what does that mean? That that's impossible? So then we're
exactly.
gaslighting ourselves into non-existence, saying, well, but that is known. Like, how does that not known? But I think what it's pointing to is there just isn't someone behind the thought that's called
Yes,
knowledge, like
No,
patterns,
but
patterns
more
of
than that,
repetition playing the
David,
piano, like
yeah,
more
that
than that,
appears to
David,
happen.
more than that, because the moment you say this is a finger, okay, you know that, but you don't know what is a finger.
On the
Do you
conceptual level,
understand?
right? Yeah, concepts are all imaginary to begin with, right? But I think what it's
We
pointing to is there's no one that would know or not know if that's a finger.
also, yeah,
exactly. No, yeah, exactly. There's no one, but in this dance of duality, things can be known, apparently, seemingly. There seems to be known. That's just simply how it plays. We're talking
yeah,
about you and something else. But that itself, as a whole, it cannot be known. That's just simply no,
cannot be.
that's just simply, it's, I think only in duality in this, and there's not, when I say in this, it almost sounds as there is someone in this, but there is not even an in this or an out this. So it's already a misunderstanding when I say in this, in duality, as if there is a you in this, but the you, the so-called you, is not actually in this either, nor is it out this. It's just another.
It's like when you grab
We,
the bag of dog food and the dog knows what that means. Like, is there a self in that dog that owns the knowing that that
Oh,
sound means I'm getting food, or is there just some sort of knowing, some recognition that's
it's
just
Pavlov. I've because I've many dogs. I had over 100 together with a neighbor when I was doing business. So the funny thing is, the moment, but I see this also with friends with certain hunting dogs. They say, "Well, he knows that it's hunting day." But the funny thing is, if you look closer, the friend or the guy is putting on special shoes, which he only uses, or only on that occasion, or he takes his rifle. It's like the dog, in a way,
Yeah.
recognize that okay, this is going to lead a certain thing. But as far when it comes to dogs, it's the same. And all animals have no, they are not worried about that. The only so-called animal worried about that is people, because they think that is for them. They think life is for them, that somewhere they were separated from this, waiting for life to start. There's a
Yeah.
them and life, which are two separate dimensions. And that's when that also come into play.
Hmm.
Because I'm this body and this body is me, it's going to die in my death. I'm born. And when that all collapsed, there's nothing left. I mean, there's just still just this. No
yeah,
addition.
and I think that the unknowability is referring to the very dimension that is taking place here now. This is what is unknown. The very dimension. And everybody walking around, they believe, they think that they know the dimension that they are living. But we don't know the dimension. We don't know anything about this. Nothing, right? It's completely, totally indeterminate. I mean, where is it? How is it? When is it? Nothing. We know nothing about it. There is no distance. There is no size. There is no space. There is no time. I mean, what the hell of a dimension is this? We don't know.
Well, knowing seems only, like I said, knowing only seems to arise in the dance of duality, where there's a
Only.
you and other things. But that as its whole, it's just unknowable.
Exactly.
You cannot separate yourself from this. If anyone find ever a way to separate himself from this, please let me know how to do that trick. It would be very amazing.
Felix, how to do that trick?
I don't know.
Oh, you know, Elizabeth, you want
Lissy, unmute. How to do that trick, sweetheart?
Amanda.
Lissy is not understanding really English, but she wants to enjoy the energy here.
Ich höre nur die Stimme und die ist sehr, sehr schön.
She's just hearing the voice, and this is very beautiful. Ah, sweetheart.
David, are you getting in your office?
My office. Yeah. The Jeep office.
So you're a professional car driver?
No, massage therapist, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I had a session today doing somatic integration, which is so
Wow.
funny. Because again, like whatever is understood about non-duality here, like it doesn't apply to the session or the methodology, the body work, anything like that. Like it can still appear sitting with another body and an apparent experience is unfolding in that body, and it's not actually a separate appearance from the one that's happening but here.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's still that transaction occurring, and no one having the sense of a body. That was the biggest hang up for this body. It was like there's really a sense, like this sense in the chest, that like I feel this sense in the chest and I see what the eyes are taking in, and something just started to crumble with all that. Like
Cool.
what is this thing that's feeling the body? Isn't there just the feeling of the body and then this
I would
thought
love to.
I'm feeling it? And so that kind of made it opened up more doorways for work, I guess, because I was pretty allergic to somatic and energy work and all that stuff, thinking that like I knew what was real, I knew what was really effective for people, and
Hey,
now
but it's cool that you did not drop it, because there can be also the play like seeing through the illusion, so to say. You can say, oh fuck, I cannot do this anymore. This somatic, I don't know what, but it's not playing like this, right? You're just enjoying it even more. There are even more, it gets more complex, right?
Yeah, you are just joining the game. Why not?
it's
Well,
just the game's playing. The
Yeah.
game's playing
Yeah.
out, and there I am, and there's no longer the hang up of am I, is this really compassion if I'm sitting with somebody having a trauma release? It's like, am
Yeah.
I actually encouraging their me to get stronger by, helping in this way and talking in certain ways? And it's like,
Yeah.
literally just feels like, oh, this is just the energy is just here's these words and here's this movement of the hand, and no idea where it comes from or if it's helpful or if it's not. There's no longer the hang up on having to be helpful. It's like,
oh yeah. I recognize.
Right.
It's what it is. It's simply what it is.
But
Yeah.
you know, I want to, because you say there's no, you know, now Tony is coming up, because many times he has said, you know, when yes, there is no one separate, you know, which is the message here. There's no one separated, you know. And he's always saying, you know, just when he's going into teaching, he say, well, yes, but act as if there's someone separated. And this is also what David is explaining. You know, there's no need to like deny everything and, you know, just to apply it or whatever.
Sweetheart,
You know,
where is Tony? What's up with him?
well, I don't know. It's in the middle of the night also there. Maybe there was an issue with something, whatever. It may be bad internet or no power. Anything can happen, right? So, but anyway, so you seem to miss him, Rosa.
No, I have the feeling that you are missing him.
Oh, that's a good feeling. Well, I don't know. No, but I mean, we've been talking here for you know how many weeks. So when there are certain individuals not there, so like me asking Claire, for example, where is Sylvan? You know, because normally Sylvan is here. So I asked Claire, what is Sylvan? And likewise, you know, where's Tony? He was here and then suddenly he was not here. This is just what's happening, right? Wondering where someone is or whatever. This
Right. And
I
this
miss him.
doesn't, you know, this doesn't need a you, you know, doesn't need to be a separated you to ask questions or to have thoughts, because it's already empty of a separated you behind wondering.
But
Wondering is
I
just
would
irrelevant.
now I would agree with Gio when he says like exactly in this meeting, it's like, you know, because you see how often SanderLinchen is in a way pointing to there is no separate you to there is no separate you. I guess not while chatting with him or when he is doing his work there. It's not happening that he is
of course,
saying the whole time there is no separate you.
Oh
So
no,
this is
of course not.
actually really like a different
yeah.
space, so to call. So I'm with you, Gio, just noticing this.
Yeah, but and sometimes it may happen that there is the real happening that there is the sensation that I can help someone, not as a person, but this non-entity somehow is channeling something that may help other people. Why not?
There is
It's
just what's
just
coming out. There is just what's
yeah,
coming out. Like having those people and people saying something, there is just like a ping pong, boom, and something is coming out. And
Yeah,
maybe then like there is no separate you
including
to,
helping or
yeah.
not
And
or
this
not
including
may
helping.
help.
helping.
And this
Yeah.
may help, yeah.
And this may help.
Exactly.
Like I said, you know, uh, there's no intention here in these meetings to help anyone. You know, at the same time, it can be experienced or seemingly it can be helpful. You
Yeah.
know, there's no way to control that. Anything
Yeah.
may happen, so to say, for the so-called other. This may be heard as helpful. This may be seen in a certain way. You know, although there's no intention. Anything is spontaneously, including, you know, this is helpful. Oh, I feel this is helpful. That's just simply rising, and suddenly that sense of this is to be helpful is completely gone. You know, walking on the street and seeing maybe somebody struggling with carrying his bags, then suddenly out of nowhere, I would say, out of nothing and not even nothing, suddenly there's an action flowing to help, and then it's dropped again. There's something else. It's just simply
Yeah.
innocently playing. And in that so-called innocent dance, there may even be the sense, I'm helping. It's me. I feel it. I'm doing it or not. That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well,
there's absolutely no choice. Even the feeling of having a choice is appearing.
Well, I would
yeah.
say there is a choice and there is no choice. I can, you know, here I lift my
No,
hand.
there's no choice. No choice.
Well, I'm, you know, saying that there is no choice or there is a choice
But
is already is not already choosable. I would say there may seem to be a choice. To say there's no choice is for me just the other side of the coin. Have
no,
fun.
it's appearing. It's appearing to having a
Yeah, but
choice.
then there's an appearance of a choice. That's what I mean. There can be a sense of a choice. There can
Absolutely.
be an appearing of a choice, but that already is not choiceable. But to say bluntly there is
Absolutely.
no choice, that's just for me one side of the coin. Yes, there's a choice as the feeling, as the belief, as the sensation that there is a choice. That's still just the sensation of there to be a choice. But that as itself is already not choosable. The sense, there's no separated choice maker. There are many choices, tea or coffee, waking up, sleeping late. There's many choices. There's just simply no separated you behind it as a choice maker. The
I
choice
would say that
is,
life is a sequence of choices,
oh yeah,
but
it's
no one
nothing.
is choosing.
Yes, yeah, no one is choosing. And
Yeah.
even that is already not chosen. That idea or that belief or
Here,
that,
here in Germany, we have the saying, Felix and Lissy, wer die Wahl hat, hat die Qual. Who has the choice is already fucked. Because it's so
Yeah.
hard. Like, I have the choice now what to choose. Oh, and this
yeah,
is so beautiful when it's always when I have something, it's already you're fucked. As long as you have something or have nothing, it's the same. You are fucked, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's the same with doing. Yes, there's doing, but there's no separated doer. There's just doing this, doing that. But at the same time, nothing is done, or you are done, or nothing is done at all.
Yeah.
Or creativity.
The other day we talked about that cause and effect is happening, but when a kind of seeing through happens, then there's seen that there's no one doing it. And we were talking about this concept of Buddhism to step out of karma. Then there was the suggestion that maybe the seeing through that no one is doing it is like these mystical stepping out of karma. It's all just a story, but yeah.
Yeah, karma means
Yes.
action. I would say there's only karma. There's no such thing as your karma or my karma. So
Absolutely.
karma
And
in
because of the
Indian
fact
means
that no one
action.
because of the fact that no one's doing it and it's some kind recognized, it's like stepping out of karma because it's karma for no one. It's just the apparently cause and effect that is happening. Like Gio said, like life as a succession of choices, but there's no one in there. So
Exactly. And and even if there is a sense, there may be a sense that there's someone in there as the sense or as the belief. So we talked about this in the beginning, Felix. You see, I see a lot of people, they shift, which I call shifting of beliefs from something is happening to nothing is happening, from I have a choice to there are no choices at all. It's it's a new belief system. It's fine, from one to the other. I would say, okay, everything is a dream. Where before everything was real, now suddenly all is a dream. Yes,
no,
nice.
it's all the same. It's even Claire going when the role of the character is to be a psychotherapist or whatever, a doctor or whatever, this role will still play out. Yeah. So there will still be helping or whatever because no one's doing it. And if there's a sense of frequency holder, okay, there's a sense of frequency holder, but yeah,
And this may change.
this may change.
Yeah, let's see what Claire is going to do in 5 years. Absolutely unknown.
I hope for her dropping the frequency.
Why?
Why,
What makes you
Felix?
say
Why,
what makes you
Felix?
say that,
Why?
Felix?
Why?
Because for me, it sounds like hard work to hold a frequency. It's like I think many of us come through the state of feeling I need to be in this peaceful state when nothing can disturb me. And this in a way sounds very familiar to this kind of holding a frequency. For whom? are you holding the frequency?
It's just
If
a turn of
everything,
phrase, Felix.
It's
It's
just
not
a
anything
term.
that I'm trying to do. I'm just saying this is how it seems to be coming across. It's obviously not
yeah,
anything
yeah,
that I
no,
can
no,
make a
no problem.
concerted effort
But
about.
if everything is perfection already, also
But that's
frequency
bullshit,
holding
Felix.
is included, but it's not needed. I would say, in my experience, it's
I would say
more.
therapy is needed, actually. I would disagree with you.
No, therapy is needed. I don't say therapy is not needed. It's like what I said. If the character is playing out this way, then it's
Which character?
the most natural thing that can happen. But it's in itself a kind of meaningless. In the play of karma, in the succession of actions, it might be needed. But if you, so to speak, step back, then you see that the perfection in action, like Rosa says, is already playing out.
You mean from the
So,
view, from the total view? If you see,
Yes.
yeah, that nothing makes sense then. There is simply no sense in
But
the.
Felix, if
Yeah.
it's needed, it's needed. You know, it's not simpler than that. If this is needed, then it's
Yeah,
needed.
this is what he is saying.
absolutely.
It's what it
If
is.
this is free
If
to be whatever. If there's a sense this is needed or a sense this is
yeah,
not needed, that's already it.
if
You
a
are saying
sense
the same
of
thing.
tension, a
Yeah.
sense of effort is needed, it will appear anyway.
I
You
don't see
can,
anything wrong with effort or not, like working as a therapist or as whatever, or
yeah,
what I'm doing, office management or whatever, it's the same.
Well,
It's just,
look,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
what
yeah.
is.
I think the
And
intention's a kind one, though, isn't it? Because what you're saying, Felix, is actually there's no effort required. It's the way the role's played out, and that's totally innocent, and that's totally okay. It's not anything you're saying there's a problem with. You're just saying it's a role people play, and it's okay if you don't, and it's okay if you do. And there's not
yeah,
anything you need to try and force. It's just something that unfolds and happens, and if it doesn't, that's also okay.
It's just what's
it's all
happening,
it's all
Wendy.
unfolding and happening. Yeah.
absolutely.
It's all unfolding and happening. I mean, what else? We started with this. It's just simply unfolding and colliding and dissolving on its own. There's nothing more to it.
And talking about this psychosis in the beginning, about like the sense of separation is so much held on. Yeah. I listened a lot about near-death experiences, and when we have the image that we all are separating ourselves in a way from the sense of wholeness willingly, that's then it makes sense that the person that is willingly separating from the sense of wholeness is sticking on his story so much and don't want to let his story go, don't want to die, and to get back into the ultimate wholeness. So
But there is no wholeness. There's no sense of wholeness. Sense of wholeness, you know, I would say here there's no sense of separation nor a sense of wholeness.
yeah,
You know, there's no
but
sense of
it's
wholeness or
it's
connectedness.
wholeness.
If you say, if you
Yeah.
mean wholeness is just the totality, yes, but there's no sense of totality nor a sense of lack. There may be all these types of ideas, you know, what is wholeness or what is not wholeness, but there's no sense of feeling whole or sense of feeling lack or sense of separation.
This sweetheart, Felix, what you said with this near-death experiences is still the like the dream. Someone not wanting to fall. What did you say? In the wholeness. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can it be something else? I mean, when it comes to wholeness, even saying it's half, it's already completely what it is. You can say there's nothing else than saying it's half. Even saying there's no wholeness, we can say is wholeness. It's always, you know, wholeness is just pointing to the totality. You know, saying that there's no totality is as whole as saying there is only the totality. I mean, there's nothing else. It's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
with the separation, you know, the sense of separation is not separated. Even duality is not separated from what? From where? From how?
Yeah, the sense of separation, so to speak, can only appear in wholeness.
Well,
Theoretically,
where in wholeness?
theoretically,
Yeah, but where in wholeness? Because there's not an in wholeness or an out wholeness. In which wholeness you mean, or which not wholeness?
in that is already everything.
But how you mean in that which is already everything? Is this in language? Because there isn't that which is
As you like
everything
it,
or not that which is not everything.
as you like it. It's everything already. So the sense of separation can only appear in what is already.
But there isn't a thing which is already. That's just, it's the same with saying there's just this.
Yeah,
David
you
also,
just say it's just this. So what does it mean? It's just this.
yeah, but there isn't a just this. David put it also. There isn't a thing which is just this. This is just another idea. Saying there's just this doesn't mean shit. It's just a new so-called
But you
term.
always say it's just this. So
Yeah, but that's the fun. Yeah, but I also, if you have listened well, Felix, I also said many times there isn't a
I never
justice.
listen well. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I never
no,
listen
but
well.
then you will.
I'm always missing the point. But
Yeah,
go
but
on.
then yeah, okay. But then you have missed that when I say there's just this, many times I say there isn't even a just this. There isn't a just this. That's the joke. Tell me, where is it? There isn't even a just this. This is the funny.
How would
So
you, Felix, how would you describe
no, but
the
wait,
justice?
Rosa, let me explain. Because justice, I see this with many people in many channels and many on Facebook, where justice becomes just the new concept, to soothe the so-called suffering, where it becomes just the new belief, the new story. Oh, there's justice. I
Well,
thought
no
there was
escaping
more
the
than
story,
this.
sweetheart. No escaping the concept.
Huh?
No escaping the concept.
Well, that's just another idea that,
Yeah, as I
I
said,
mean,
no escaping the concept.
so justice. What I mean, it's just the other side of the coin. Yes, there is justice, but it can be just a thing on its own. Justice can become just another belief on its own, where it's bullshitting, where it's just, okay, it's just this. This needs to be reminded with little post-its in the house. If you're on that level, it's just fucking bullshit. Where you have the post-its on your house to remember, it's just this. It's just another mind trick. It's just a new layer.
Okay,
It's maybe
sweetheart.
wait, Rosa, it's maybe soothing.
Exactly. You're just bullshitting the whole time, and we
If
like it, or we
Yeah, but
don't like it.
as soon as you don't keep this up, there it's back to square one, where there's a lot of so justice may be soothing. Okay, I am suffering today. I have a bad day. Okay, there's justice. Oh, this feels very
Oh,
good.
just
This is how
this.
it goes. That's
Oh.
just a new method. Yes, it's just a new method. There isn't even a justice
So
as an escape.
why not
Oh, it's
methods?
just what it is. Oh.
Why not liking Rupert Spira?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with Rupert Spira. I mean, there's
Rupee.
nothing, I would say liking Rupert Spira or not liking or disliking him, there's no issue with liking. Where there seems to be a problem is when there's a sense of self in liking and opinions, where the sense of self, it's my liking, it's my opinions, it's my thoughts, I need to do something. It's my. That's the problem. There's nothing wrong with having likes or dislikes, where in spirituality it's all about losing likes. This is not about losing likes or having less likes. This is seeing that there is no you apart from likes. Likes or dislikes are just simply arising
Oh
and going.
no.
Before you know, they're gone. It's
And
the same with
again, part
justice.
But
of
but
what's like
I
the
would even
phrase
say
that
that,
like the Tao that is known is not the real Tao.
Yeah, there
And
is no
like the
justice.
Tao that can be spoken of is not the real Tao. And like if you're using this is it or there's just this to
It's bullshit.
justify or to demonize, psychology or the practice of something, then this is not what's being talked about.
Exactly.
It's not a concept that you can then apply to life to make it
Yes.
better or to alleviate suffering. Like that's not what's being shared or spoken
Yes.
about.
This is exactly what I'm saying, David, exactly. And you mentioned this also. There isn't a fucking justice. That's just bullshit. That's just another method.
It's the
Have fun
last
with
one
it.
to
It will
go.
crumble. Any so-called effect flowing out of just this as an ease will soon go, and suffering will be there again. It's just another trick. There isn't a justice.
So, sweetheart, is this
What?
about
But
preventing suffering?
Yeah, I
but
was
What
going
is
to
the
ask,
here?
why
what's
do
the
you
name of this game? What's the name of this game? What are we doing? It seems
Exactly.
that we are doing something here.
Exactly.
We let something out, then we bring it in, then we let something else out, and we bring it in, and here we go.
Exactly.
And there is always this sense of trying to not let anything escape, right? It's just a way of speaking, maybe bullshit, but
I say everything is bullshit already. For me, there is nothing which is here more true, or in a way, Rupert Spira is bullshitting you, and this is not, and this is more true. There is
no.
no such thing. There is just maybe
Oh, but it's
loving
never
it and
about
like the
truth.
sense of, oh, this is nice. I love what Zander is saying. This is helping me. It's just innocence at play. Rupert
It's not,
Spira is helping me, or this here is helping me, or not me, or whatever is doing nothing to me. It's just whatever.
but is there an end of suffering? Yes, I would say yes, totally.
There is a what?
Well, where there seems
End of
where
suffering. End of
Ah,
suffering.
yes, yes.
no,
No, because I understand totally where there's radical non. Oh, it's just this. Suffering is just this. So, but definitely can there be an end of suffering? Is there an end to? Because suffering is already not about you. You know, it has already nothing.
but it will never end. It will never end.
Oh yeah, totally. Yes, totally. Yes.
I think it depends if you say that suffering requires a me, where pain does not. So you could say pain is just what happens, but this personal pain, which we call suffering, that is what can seem
And
to stop or is
yes,
already not
exactly that.
happening.
Yeah.
When it's ascribed to a self, that's what calls it the suffering.
I'm sorry, I would totally disagree that the suffering will stop because of any recognition that there's no me. I think that's a big myth.
I'm not saying it's because of there's no me. No, no. I'm not saying that, and David is not saying that either. You know, but what I see is a lot of people going to Tony Parson or whatever radical non-dualities where it's an applied, where it just becomes a new system. You know, they say suffering, oh, it's perfect because it's already what it is, which includes the suffering. So, oh, yes, yes, yes. So there's no problem. This is just bullshitting. Is there something which can be done? Yes, definitely.
Mantra.
Can it end? Yes, exactly, Dave. It's just another bullshit. And as long as you go to those meetings, at a certain point, it just becomes you have to have post-its. You have to go to every meeting to keep this bullshit running. You have to go to these meetings to hear the same crap. If you
It's
don't
very
hear it, it's
addictive.
not
It's very
working. You have to
addictive.
keep it up. You have to addict it because or else you're back on the hamster wheel. Because it's just a newfound belief system. It's just a new concept.
And it plays
Instead of
as
there's
long
a
as
me,
it
there's no
plays.
me.
It plays
It-
is like this as long as it plays. And this may change,
oh
innocently
yeah, this
so.
may change. Is there a you? Yes, there is as much you as there is no you. If you only say there's no you, I would say you know what I say here, there's no separated you. I never say there is no you. There's just simply no separated you from this. That's something else. I'm not saying there's no you. There can be a you as the sense there's the you. There can be a belief as a you. There can be a feeling there's a you. But there's no such thing as a separated you from this, from the body, from life or whatever, as something what you really are. That's not the case. But there is a you and there's no you. Falling into absolute statements, there is no me, and try to cover bullshit is only going to work that long. And is it effective? Yes, it's very effective. But you have to keep it up.
Until
It's
it's
the
not.
same as the
Until it's
observer.
not. Until it's
It's
not.
the
Well, like you
same
were
as I'm
saying,
observer. Yeah.
for something to be addictive, it has to be useful, right?
Exactly.
Like nicotine or drugs or a mantra or non-duality concepts on a
Useful for
conceptual
me, of
level.
course.
It only
Useful
has
for
to.
me.
It's only addictive if it's useful. Where
Exactly.
what like the real like the radical non-dual pointing is useless. Like there's no, it can't be used. But if it's addictive to somebody, if somebody needs to be reminded writing post-its and everything, it's because they've turned into a
Applied
concept that
non-duality.
which cannot be conceptualized. So that's just what the mind has to do, though, right? Like you're saying, Rosa, like that just plays out because what else does the mind do? It turns things
Exactly.
into
That's the
graspable,
function. That's the
boxed
function.
packages. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And this is not about
paying
a
hundreds of
functioning.
dollars.
And there is no way out. And there is simply no fucking way out, no matter what
And
you
there's
say.
no one in it.
Of course not.
There's no way in it already. I mean,
There's no in or out.
that's a
There's no way out
separated
of something
view.
that doesn't have an inside.
Yeah, there's no inside nor outside. But paying hundreds of dollars to go to meeting and to hear there's no me, it's just, you know,
Nice.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
If you have the dollars, why not?
Oh yeah, but you know, at least you know, I've talked the other day with someone, you know, and Rosa, I think you know him also, but there was just an admitting that, you know, the no me story was actually quite, you know, helpful as a concept because it was helpful, it was soothing, but he had to keep it up. He was honest enough to admit that these so-called stories were very helpful as long as he could keep them up. But he also saw the need to keep it up, the know
Yeah.
me. Oh, there's no me, it's all
Beautiful.
perfection. Out of that, there was really, you know, something. It was really helpful.
Yeah.
But he also saw that it was only
Yeah.
helpful as long as he could keep it up. And
Beautiful.
and then it was gone again. He
Yeah.
couldn't hold it.
And it's beautiful that in a way it plays out like this, seeing
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh fuck, I'm totally bullshitting myself. It's just another landing place.
It's
And
the
then,
same with jusTThis. There is no
yeah,
jusTThis. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
And that's the game, so to say. It's just how the cookie crumbles. And I can see nothing wrong or right, even though, sweetheart, you're saying, yeah, there is just the suffering. Without a me, there is no suffering. Well, then
Okay,
there is
Sander, so
suffering.
I'm very happy for you that you dropped this very annoying jusTThis phrase.
I'm using this. I love to use it still.
Well, I said many times, Felix, there's jusTThis and there isn't even a jusTThis, which is also jusTThis in a way, because what jusTThis is doing is just pointing to the totality, you know, but in a way there isn't a thing called jusTThis. Please show me, where is it? Can you hold
Okay,
it?
so what's totality? Because you just used the term. What's totality?
Nothing else but just this.
Well, I would say you know, there isn't a thing called totality either, although, or a thing called wholeness. You know, it's just, it's as close as you can come with words, I guess, you know, but there is not such a thing as wholeness or a thing as halfness.
Once you see the nature of the game, you don't have to change the game.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You can
That's
just
what we are
enjoy
doing
it.
here.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
there is no need to try to speak as precise as possible in order not to
Exactly.
It's
mislead
just playing
someone.
along, you know.
It's
I mean,
already a
No
full-on fucking
possessions.
misunderstanding. And you
No
know, it's,
possession.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
it
Nothing
will
to
go
defend.
anyway. We talked about this, Gio. Whatever this, you know, like I said in the beginning, everything is coming and going. Soon, you know, there will be a connecting, you know, a disconnecting. Something else will come. This will be like a memory, almost like it never happened. You know, tomorrow there was thinking maybe the meeting. Oh, was there really a meeting? Like Gio was telling about this heart problem. When I asked you in the beginning, what's your heart problem? And then he was said, well, it almost felt like it never happened. This is going to be, you know, the next thing will soon arise and even that will go. It has no continuity. It's just coming and going. Thoughts, ideas, beliefs. Seeking yourself in one or the other may, you know, there's a seeking instability in something which is already not stable. It has no continuity whatsoever. So seeking any form of stability in so-called there is a me or there's no me, you cannot hold up because the thought or the belief there's no me will soon disappear. And what is left is nothing until it arises in another shape. and then there's a trying to hold on to that, and it also crumbles before you know it crumbles. You can just not hold on to this. Tell me where you can hold to anything.
Any view
false
will
beliefs.
crumble.
Anything will crumble. Just this will crumble before you know it's something. It's not just this, it's something. It's zooming in, and it will crumble again.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. You are
We're fucked.
rubbing my last
Sorry
illusions
for the
here.
language, to be honest. Sorry.
Oh, I
baby.
love it. I love
Yeah.
this. You are fucked. It's cool. There is a
I'm
power
going
behind
to
it.
break it up, you guys. I'm going to bed. Thank you.
It was
Sander.
nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Claire,
Yeah. Was cool.
Rosa, Wendy, Gio, Felix, good to see you. Looking good. Elizabeth, David, he's not here anymore. Elizabeth, nice to see you. Claire, thanks for providing the link. Gio,
Yeah, cool.
good. Everybody,
Thank you very much.
interacting. Have fun. Just this and not even.
Have fun.
Good ending.
Yeah.
It will be
Thank you.
gone. It will
Take care.
go.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.